Adventures Through Time. Queen Victoria visits the Black Country.
The Black Country Living Museum is a pretty cool place to find out about the places we've come from.
And not just the places, it's great to find out about the people behind our history too.
Like the families that used to live in these back-to-back houses. Hey, there's the guide, over by the front door.
Hello again. I'd say it was time for some refreshment. I wonder, why don't you knock on the door at number 11?
Good afternoon, young sir and miss. I was just about to make some tea. Would you care to join me and partake a cup?
What's happening? Everything seems different all of a sudden.
Well now, don't dally. Come on in. I'm letting out the warmth from the fire.
That wasn't there a moment ago. I get the feeling we've gone back in time.
Everything looks the same. The chairs, the table, even the picture of Queen Victoria above the mantelpiece. Seems like there's a picture of the Queen in every house.
And why would you not? The finest queen we ever had. As a boy, I'd only ever see her on a penny. But now, thanks to the newspaper, look here, and their wonderful daguerreotypes, we can see her in all her glory.
Daguerreotype? What's that?
Oh, of course. They call them photographic images these days. But do you know, I was once lucky enough to see Queen Victoria with my own eyes.
Wow. Did you go to London?
Far from it. The Queen came to Wolverhampton, right here in the Black Country on more than one occasion. It's said the first time she came, she was only a child and found the dirt and fires to be so uncommonly distressing that she drew the curtains on the train she was travelling in. Oh, but later in her life, she returned and in much better cheer. If I recall rightly, it was November 1866. I must have been a lad of 17. It was just a few years after her dear Prince Albert had died. She hadn't been seen in public for years, and some thought she too may have died. But now, because the people of Wolverhampton had extended such kindness to the Queen in her time of mourning, she accepted an invitation to unveil a statue. No other town had managed to gain a response such as this, so you can imagine the excitement.
What was the statue of?
Prince Albert, of course, the Queen's great love and the reason for her to be in mourning for so long. The statue was made by Thomas Thornycroft and cost over £1,000, a very large sum of money. At the Queen's suggestion, Prince Albert was shown seated on his favourite horse on a large plinth in the town square. They made it a holiday, and the streets were filled with thousands of people who came on trains from all sorts of places. It was a grand sight. The royal coaches were waiting outside the station as the Queen's train arrived, and as the Queen, the princesses and John Brown, her trusty servant, appeared, we could hear the royal salute, and then the bells rang out from St. Peter's, and the hussars played the national anthem. The procession weaved through the town. Mother and father and my brothers and I squeezed in the throng at Darlington Street. We were not a rich family, and our celebrations tended to be modest even at Christmas. So to have such pomp and ceremony, it was like something from a dream. I shall never forget the finery and the glimpse of Her Majesty we had before she turned towards High Green. That's why the picture of Her Majesty means so much to folk around here.
Sounds so exciting.
It's said the Queen unveiled the statue and was so pleased she knighted the mayor on the spot. The fine folk, well, they had luncheon, then a banquet with fireworks that carried on into the night. Such was the occasion, they changed the name of High Green to Queen Square.
It sounds amazing. Definitely something to write home about.
Funny enough, you're right. It was such a memorable day that when I was a little older, I thought it would make a tremendous bedtime story for my cousins. I wrote about the day on a paper bag from the general store. We didn't have money for fancy paper, you see. I then went to post it in the postbox on the street.
I've seen the postbox. It's hexagonal, isn't it? Kind of a strange shape for a postbox.
I was so pleased with my story of the event, I nearly forgot the stamps in my haste to catch the postman. If you look carefully on the postbox, you'll see the Royal Cipher. It's a very special postbox that was made right here in Dudley by Cochrane Grove and Company, one of our most famous ironworks. Why not take a look at it for yourself?
Good idea. Thanks for the tea.
Wow, where's he gone? We're back in the present right by the postbox the old man was talking about. It's a great red colour. I wish I had something to post.
Well, there you are. Admiring the Penfold letterbox, I see.
We found out about Queen Victoria's visit to the Black Country and how people were so excited. They wrote stories about it and sent it to family and friends.
There's nothing quite like receiving a letter full of interesting things. I wonder what you would write about. What might have you have seen around here that would make a good story?
I might write to Gran, tell her about Queen Victoria's portrait.
Whatever you write about, just don't forget the stamp.
Black Country Living Museum Adventures Through Time, with support from the Art Fund.